Once, in a distant kingdom beneath the waves, lived a young mermaid named Elara. Her tail shimmered with shades of silver and teal, and her long hair floated around her like strands of seaweed. Elara was known across the ocean for her beautiful voice, which could calm the stormiest seas and soothe the most troubled hearts. But Elara had a secret. She yearned to know what life was like above the water. She had heard stories from the older merfolk of humans, strange, fascinating creatures who walked on two legs and lived in the sunlit world. They seemed so different from her kind, yet there was something in their stories that tugged at her heart. One moonlit night, when the ocean was especially quiet, Elara swam to the surface and watched the stars. She gazed at the distant shore, her heart aching with curiosity. She longed to see the world above, to feel the sun on her face, and to hear the laughter of the humans she'd heard so much about. Her opportunity came sooner than expected. A ship sailed near her underwater kingdom, and the wind blew fiercely, tossing it about. The ship capsized in the storm, and Elara, without thinking, dove into the waves to rescue one of the passengers, a young man who had fallen overboard. She pulled him ashore, her heart racing as she gazed at him. He was unconscious but alive, and as she helped him onto a rocky outcrop, she couldn't help but be drawn to his face. He was unlike any creature she'd seen before. Human, yes, but there was something familiar about him. As the sun began to rise, the young man awoke. His eyes widened as he saw Elara standing there, her tail sparkling like the morning dew. He had heard stories of mermaids, but never believed they were real. But here she was, in front of him, as real as the ocean itself. The young man stood up, brushing off his wet clothes. And so they made a pact. Every night, Elara would sing the songs of the sea, teaching him the ancient melodies that could calm the waves and speak to the creatures of the deep. In return, he would show her the wonders of the human world, its cities, its sunsets, and the laughter that filled the air. Over time, Elara came to realize that while the sea would always be her home, the world above had its own magic, and the young man, whose name was Finn, became her closest friend, showing her that the heart could belong to both worlds,